So yeah, here we are with this model, the obsolete Exoframe by Good Smile Company. And can I put this up here for a quick second while it focuses? Yep, there's it focused. And I have to say, it's looking pretty nice. This was the first time that I really wanted to try and do some weathering. As you can see, there's a lot of scrapes and scratches, a lot of rust and grime and dust all over this model. Bullet holes, and one quick thing about the bullet holes. So I just kind of drilled using a pin vise hand drill the bullet holes into this model, but I didn't really think about how to realistically make bullet holes, and it wasn't until a few days ago that I watched a video on how to do more realistic bullet holes in your model kits. And yeah, there's definitely a better way of doing this to make it look more realistic. This literally looks like just holes that have been drilled into the model, but there's ways of like kind of thinning down the plastic from the opposite side and then drilling the hole and then kind of using a different tool to kind of bend the plastic to make that feeling of like that the armored exterior is sort of contorting to the bullet hole and sort of denting, creating dents. I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense, and it looks a whole lot more realistic than what I did. But you live, you learn. That's generally, something to keep in mind for the next project. And my next few projects, I'm not really planning on weathering to this extent. And I have some videos up on YouTube where I talk about how I went about weathering this stuff. And I can put up some better pictures up on YouTube a little later, or rather Instagram. But yeah, that's generally how this model turned out. And yeah, the next time I make a model with some weathering, I'll scale it back. I'll scale it back a bit and have a bit more of a delicate touch with the application. But for this model, I definitely wanted to go in a little more heavy than usual, just to kind of get an idea, get a feel for the model. And I felt like I could get away with it anyways, just because this model, it kind of has that almost like Krieger MAK kind of aesthetic, kind of junky, kind of dirty. You can see that a lot of grime and dirt and rust has pooled up in the corners and crevices. That was definitely something I wanted to do and try out. And I'll note that between the last time I showed this model and now, I did look at the model off stream, and I was kind of like, oh geez, maybe I went in a little too heavy with the weathering. So I actually scaled it back a bit. I went in with some alcohol, just like some general use alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and kind of rubbed away at all the grime, and it came off a bit. But I also went in with the base color, which is Vallejo Game Color Verdigris, and I kind of just dabbled that on like very lightly. And it might be actually hard to see, but there's a bit of like this dappling effect, especially on the dome. And again, I can put some better pictures up on my Instagram, see how guys can take a look at that. But yeah, this is generally done. The gun here, I added some scratches and some nicks to that as well. And the cap can come off, but there's really no painting. I didn't do any painting to the interior of that. I've also noticed that I've glued this entire unit onto the frame itself, and there's a gap now, which I didn't actually realize as I was gluing it. So yeah, that's a thing. But anyways, whatever. I'll think about how to fix that or not. I might not bother fixing it at all. I don't know. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this guy turned out. And of course, there's always little things that I'd like to tweak and adjust. But for the time being, this is mostly done. I got to hit it with some matte spray as well. And then after I hit it with some matte spray, we'll take a look and make some more adjustments, make some more details. And especially with the lens here, there's like a camera. Looks like a webcam, which is really funny to me. This front camera that's outstretched on the head unit. Kind of looks like a webcam. And then there's another camera lens behind it, and I've painted those both pink, but after the matte coat I'll go back and apply a gloss coat on that so that they'll look more reflective and shiny. But yeah, once again, that's mostly this model. He's mostly done. Very happy to finally finish that after so long. Let's just put him here.